So yeah, right into the video. So imagine proving somebody completely wrong, right? Just crushing them in a debate, but they just keep giving you but. You ever catch, you know how it is with kids. You catch a kid in a lie, they'll butt their way out of it or try to try to explain themselves. And it makes you a little bit more upset. But it's the same thing as an adult, that when you got somebody dead to rights and you're giving them all the facts and you know they understand the facts. They understand 1 + 1 is 2, but they still persist. They still press on and keep trying to explain away what has clearly been proven to be false. Yet they persist and it gets frustrating, right? This is what Christian apologists do, right? An apologist. These people who try to use arguments and debates to prove their point were Christian apologists, which is what Wes Huff is. It's crazy. So one of the reasons why, and don't get me wrong, I like it is what it is. This is scholarly, right? And one of the reasons why I do like Wes Huff, just a little bit, is because the dude is fair. I mean, he'll tell you straight up, hey, a lot of people don't believe this, or, it is what it is. And he'll give you those facts. That's why he easily crushed Billy. And it would be real tough for anybody who is not on point to even talk with this guy. But it's bullshit, as you guys know, I always say. So a lot of people, hit me up when he did the video, and, he's in there just flipping out and trying to explain away what happened with the so-called debate with Wes. And it was horrible. And it's like, no way. I had some respect for this guy, but I really lost it after watching that video. The video was like 3 hours long, and it was just a complete train wreck of, dude, this is why people got PR people and damage control people. And that's what he needed. For him to come out and do that video, he took the video down now because it was bad, bro. It was horrible. For him to come on there and try to explain what happened and say, okay, maybe the guy was sick and, he almost died the day before. It was completely flawless victory on West's part. But it wasn't like he couldn't come back from that, because you can say whatever. He misspoke or whatever he wanted to say. He could have possibly just flipped it and just made it like it was nothing, but he didn't. He tried to explain away what he knew he got caught in, and it just made him look worse and worse. Plain and simple, even before that whole so-called debate, this dude has been spitting out the same stuff over and over again. Sinai Bible, Book of Barnabas, multiple videos where you can see this guy doing this, right? So it's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of Christians, a lot of people on YouTube who put out videos about all of this, putting all this information out. And it's clear. It's people that went hard on him. And that's what happens when you know somebody's a fraud and they just sound so good, though. Everything just seems like it could be true. But they're a fraud. You just understand it. And you either do or you don't take the time to go ahead and debunk them. Now, some people just say, well, mind your business. Let the guy cook. Let him do what he's doing. But it hurts this community. It hurts what you're trying to do. And it's not about taking money from nobody, anything like that. It's about the truth. And this, for the most part, all of us is here for that. And there's a lot of misdirection. Now, I've been cussed out, beat down, all kinds of stuff when it comes to Billy Carson. A lot of people, my subscribers, a lot of people that follow him was just like, what do you got against Billy? What do you got against Billy? I never said anything against this guy before this stuff started happening. You guys asked for this information or for me to speak on it. And it's relevant. It's relevant to what we do. So this is why, one of the reasons why. But the way this guy was deceiving people was next level. It was like, you can't in good faith allow this to happen. And, for the most part, we did, because how are you going to get in contact with this guy? You got to be in that circle to be able to basically, challenge him. So this is one of the reasons why Wes was believing, this is one of the reasons why Billy was believing it was a setup. So, he wanted to sue the moderator as well. He said he's going to sue the guy for $1 million because he believed the whole thing was a setup. But when you look at the way things was going for Billy, it looked bad. But the moderator, who knows? It looked real bad for him. We all saw the video. But, his explanation video was just horrible. Him calling people 9-to-5 worker bees and saying that anybody that got something to say against him or what have you was just mad because they poor and broke. And he's bragging about, his elevator in his house and his money. He had a $300,000 watch and all that kind of stuff. And it just set people off. You read the comments, the video was down there, but in the comments, he lost a lot of followers. A lot of people was just pissed. Then he made another video apologizing about basically what he said, because I guess somebody brought it to his attention how smug and arrogant he sounded in that video. It was just horrible. Snapping on people, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I'm glad I had a chance to see before, it was taken down. I've been meaning to do a video on it, but time. But and my channel was taken down, of course. So it's crazy. But I want to get into the whole thing because a lot of people ask about apologists, and I did a whole video on that. I have a video on YouTube about the whole thing, and it's just really understanding how these people think. And when you're going to find a lot of people like Wes that's smart, that's really into the manuscripts, because that's the only way you can prove things. It's the only way you can get to a probability. And this is what these people run off. They run off probability, not off truth, facts, what's proven. The fact that you even have to have apologists within this topic shows you it's something wrong and that it has to be some bullshit. Because anything that's proven true, you don't need a whole freaking field in terms of people to explain it. Either it's true or it's not. It's trying to basically explain something that has already been, consciously, using common sense, proven, false. And there, but, like a little 5-year-old. And this is what's going on. This is what's happening. So look at what happened. You had, because one, now Joe Rogan has to backtrack, because you had Billy Carson on your show. Billy Carson is on a bunch of podcasts. He's all over the place. But Joe Rogan and them, since Joe Rogan got people like Elon Musk and smart people and all these people that come on the show, of course, you got to look at it and say, we just had this guy on our show who got ripped apart. And it's a bad taste for them, because now it's going to look like, we have fake people on here, or we have people on here with misinformation. He got exposed. Billy got exposed. So he got to backtrack. So what does he do? He has Wes on there. It was not too long ago. So Wes comes on there and they talk about it. He jokingly says, well, we didn't really do no research. We just joked about it. Say, hey, let's bring this guy on here. It'll be funny. Ha, 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 ha. Not like he wasn't co-signing all the shit Billy was saying. I do a little bit of research. I fact check. So he really easily weaseled his way out of it, threw fucking Billy under the bus for Wes, right? Because at the end of the day, for real, he had to do it. He had to do it because it makes them look bad that this is the type of people, the caliber of people who you have on your show. And it just goes to show, like I said, these people are agents. Now, even Billy in his video, he said, what did he say? I have government people. I have 3-letter people I'm in contact with. I have billionaires on my phone I can call. So for you to be a person that's supposedly exposing some shit, and then now you're claiming, because he said this, you got government officials that's your friends. You have, I guess, CIA, FBI people who are your friends that you can just call to do things. We're everywhere, man. He was real arrogant and bold with it. And that was just I can't believe him, man. Like, I'm just highly disappointed that he went that route. And it's like, wow, he really exposed himself further. It was the worst meltdown I ever seen ever. So for the people who got a chance to see it, wow. And there's some people who put up videos that you can see little clips from that's on YouTube, and it's bad, yo. It is bad. So yeah, I understand why people hit me up and ask me about it. People wanted me to talk about it again regarding that video. So this is why I'm here making this video, just to talk about that again, but to get more into the other side of it with Wes, because what they're doing now, and they've been doing this for a long time, and I talked about this in that video, there's a huge movement. There's so many apologists all over YouTube. There's so many people with podcasts and everything that's promoting this apologist narrative. Like, the Bible is true, but the people who controlled it fucked it up. And that's basically what they want to say. That's how they want to put it. The Bible is true. We can prove this. This has, historical value to it, right? But the people who was in control, Rome and everybody else, they fumbled the bag and they messed everything up. So this is how it really supposed to go, right? But at the end of the day, still, they're stuck at the same place the Christians was before them and everybody else. There's no proof. There's no truth. They use words like historical, right? Historical evidence, right? Historical figure. And it confuses people because it leads you to believe that this is true. And I broke that down in the last video. You can say historical figure and everything you want, but that's just basically saying it's true to the time, not that it's actually true. So if something is historically correct, it's historically correct for the time. It doesn't mean it's true. And that could be pertaining to certain things, right? So if somebody's talking about what somebody wore or the type of food they ate, and again, I broke this down before, then you can say the story is historically accurate because the things they're talking about in the story fits with that time. That doesn't mean the specific story is true, just some of the things regarding, historical stuff like eating and the way people dress and talk is accurate, right? So that kind of gives you a little bit more validity when you can say those things. But of course, if you wrote the book during the time or you understood what was going on during that time, of course you're going to make it historically accurate. That's common sense. So I had a Christian send me a clip from one of some video I had Wes in it, but he's talking about P52, which is I think it's John 18, right? So they're talking about, it's a little teeny shard of a manuscript that nobody agrees on the date, but they are trying to use this, or they want to use it as proof for the New Testament. Nobody's debating the New Testament. We know the New Testament, it is what it is. We're debating what's in there, right? So there is no debate when it comes to the book itself. We don't have the originals. And no matter how you want to slice it, since we don't have the originals, we can't say what's in the manuscripts that are known copies is true, right? We know people have made forgeries. We know there's all kinds of inconsistencies and problems within the manuscripts themselves. So we're never going to look at those things and say it's correct because we don't have the originals to put them up against. So again, they are banking on the fact that it exists as it being truth. Because of course, in a rational mind, you'll think, well, why would they fake this so long ago? What would they have to gain to fake this? I mean, we've seen what they gained by faking it. We've seen the power of the papacy. We see the power of the church. It's come on now, of course. And look at what they've gained. Look at what they've done in the minds and hearts of billions of people, with this. It's control, and it's the original control. So we look at this and we can say, okay, yeah, the papyrus exists. It's true to the period. But what's being said, first of all, in that shard, there's not much written on it anyway. And like, what do you want me to do with that? It's no proof. It doesn't prove the entire Bible is true. It doesn't prove anything. It's just we have this shard that everybody disagrees on the date that we believe is a part of a biblical manuscript. But so what? We got thousands of those that's complete, right? So it's no big deal. But they want to point to a lot of different things as proof, and none of it really goes back to anything that's been proven by empirical research or shown to be 100% true and agreed upon by all scholars across the globe, both in the scientific community as well as in the public community, independent researchers. No. But I'm just seeing more Christians come out and it's like, so many people have jumped on this topic. And I don't think people realize this. To a lot of you guys, this is nothing. It's like, oh, come on, talk about something else, leave us alone or what have you. But I don't think you realize how big this is to what we do as far as putting out information and truth. It's not that many people that is putting out truth. And you can't let, us as the people get more and more saturated with this Christianity that has been used to enslave us for a long time. So, of course, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my followers, you can't stand these Christians just as much as me, as far as you having to deal with them in your family. You got to debate with people constantly. And it's like, yo, when is it going to stop? It's so much more for us to talk about and deal with versus something that is not true. Why do you persist with this whole thing? And then, so much to get into with that. But, it's for me, when people say, hey, what is this about? Can you talk about this? Is this true? What about this? And I constantly get, because I have a small group of Christians I talk with still, but I constantly get things from Christians regarding this information. And more recently, it's been with Wes. So you'll read in the comments in Wes's videos, I thank Billy Carson for introducing me to Wes. oh, because of West, my strength in Christianity has been renewed. I believe in Christianity even more and more. Where has this guy been? And he went from about 130-something thousand subscribers to like almost 400,000 subscribers within like the last month, well, a couple months within this whole debate range. So it's a lot of people jumping on, but that has been renewed in their hope and belief within these manuscripts as somehow being, true. But I don't think a lot of people really understand what West is and what he's speaking to and what his ideology is. And it's like, it's not Christian in the sense that a lot of people, supposed to be Christians. He also admits things that other Christians won't dare admit, like, there could be embellishments within a story, right? And a possibility that parts of the story could be wrong or mistranslated or what have you. He admits things like that, which is one of the reasons why I like him, because at least he does that, because other Christians won't touch that, because in a debate, that's hard for you to come back at, because it just leads more on to, well, if it's supposed to be, it has been taught to us as being perfect, then one imperfection hurts your argument. And then when those imperfections start to add up and pile up, then you're done. But a lot of Christians won't go the route, but apologists do, because they try to explain away what it could be. So again, how we get the Gospels, right? First of all, one, they are not eyewitness accounts. So anybody who tell you that is just completely fucking wrong, because we don't get writings till like over 100 years after the crucifixion, decades after the crucifixion, right? And still you have the people who wrote it who are quoting other people. It's not their eyewitness account. It's them quoting what somebody else supposed to have said, according to the gospel, according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, right? You're the third person. Like you're explaining what somebody said about another person. That person himself didn't write a book to explain what he was doing. The disciples didn't write books to explain what he was doing. It's somebody who said somebody said. This is what we have, people. And it's like, what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with people? So it's not eyewitness accounts. And when you look at all the mistakes and all the problems with it, it's like, what are we doing? And it's like, so much has been put behind this, as I always say, which keeps people indoctrinated into the bullshit. But, as apologists, they try to explain away. But at the end of the day, they have to come to a point where it cuts off, and then you just dealing and operating strictly off faith and belief, because you can't go nowhere. You don't got a leg to stand on at some point. At most of the points, you can't go any further. You have to stop and end with that. So the questions you always get is, about a certain papyrus, about a certain person, and like you have it to where we had an oral tradition, right? And supposedly somebody told a story, and that person told a story, and then that person told a story, and so on and so forth, right? Of course, when you tell a story orally, it changes. It's going to change down the line, right? And this is what happened. It's no way that story stayed perfect through thousands of years, right? Hundreds of years as well. And it's just perfect. So even if you want to believe the oral Torah with Septuagint being created, there's no way, right? And we don't have any manuscripts to prove it was copied from a certain manuscript to create the Septuagint Greek, right? And then we know what happened with the New Testament, which is just much more easier to get into, because we can see everything where it came from. And in fact, the Old Testament is written in Greek as well as the New Testament is sus. So you got to look at all this. It's not so much as, just trying to destroy somebody's faith and everything like that, because apologists are real technical. I mean, they get into so much technical stuff, and then you stop yourself, and then they try to rationalize a lot of things. And you stop yourself and be like, oh, like what is this? Because it don't fit. So you want to be this technical about this stuff, but you believe in talking snakes and donkeys, right? You believe in some super complicated, impossible things, fire chariots and Samson with the strength because his hair is long and survived in the fish for 3 days, the powers of Elijah, Elisha. Same stuff I always mention. I mean, just the whole Adam and Eve story itself, right? Woman coming from a man's rib. You believe in all this, but you want to be rational when it comes to debating this thing. Get out of here with that. So this is what we deal with. But you got to look at all the information and, put it together and figure out what's best for you moving forward and what is that like. Because to me, like I always say, if you're here, then you're looking for something. If you're here, you're trying to figure out what's going on. And then some people just want validation for what they believe for argument's sake, for debate purposes, right? Because if you really actually believe in this stuff, you shouldn't be here. Just go out and believe what you believe in and keep it moving. So I look at a lot of these people, these apologists that's online. You guys probably seen a couple of them. I mean, they're doing commercials. I mean, like actual commercials. They're giving you the information in the middle of their video. They'll stop and do a promo for one of their sponsors, right? It's so like, what? That's so commercial. And it's like, oh, you're supposed to be a Christian and you're doing commercials and promos for companies with logos that's satanic. It don't make sense. Like, as you look at a lot of these people, again, you don't get on Joe Rogan if you're not in, if you're not giving them what they want, if you're not fitting the narrative, right? So Wes and Billy both do. So of course, Joe Rogan has to have Wes on and gets, 3 hour long video. And they went into a lot of stuff. And it's just so much that I could go through and pick apart the entire video, because at the end of the day, the stuff that people say, that follows him, which is one of the reasons why I like Wes, is because at least when he says stuff, he's on point with his stuff. And he'll tell you straight up, no, a lot of people don't believe that, or this is not right, or I don't think this is that. But then you have people who will speak for him and try to take what he said and flip it into something else to fit Christianity. He said this, so because he said this, the entire Bible was correct. And it's like, come on, man, we got to stop this. It's like the LeBron Jordan beat. Like, we got to stop this. Like, come on, man. He has 7 more years to play to the man. Of course, he's going to pass his records and stuff like that. You look at so many different things and you say, come on, we got to stop this argument. This is what's happening with Christianity, right? It's like, y'all got to stop this bullshit. It's just, enough is enough. Because there's nothing nobody can come forward and give you and say that's going to prove the book ever. It's never going to happen, because the book is not true. It's not real biblical stories, right? It's an allegorical parable book. Parabolistic is so many stories and parables in there that's talking about other things. It's been broke down by many people over the years, and just people just don't want to accept it, which just goes to show you none of these people is doing any research. They're not even watching the videos because they can't stomach it long enough. They cut it off, and it is what it is. But since this whole debate setting, and you got so many conversations, and I had so many Christians blow me up and send me emails and cuss me out in the comment section and all kinds of stuff. And, we got to talk about it, especially when I get the question. And this is from Christians as well. So now they're sending me videos saying, explain this. This stuff I've been going through years ago, stuff I went through years ago, because this is trending now and a lot of people talking about it. They're coming back with old questions, stuff that I answered in videos long ago, and same questions I've been getting for a long time that I can completely crush, because at the end of the day, they have to have faith in it. I do not. I don't. We don't got to have faith in it. We can just look at it and say it's some bullshit. Sit up there and send me 16 books of bullshit, and I just say, well, I could point out one thing. It is believed. Scholars disagree, right? And then I can go ahead and just go and try to find it under empirical research and see if it's been proven and fact-checked and going through the scrutiny of basically cross-examination by the peers, by the people that's in that field. And none of it does. It never does. And this is why, like I said, I thought people would understand this and get that, but this is why I put that out, because it kills everything, right? What are we talking about here, right? So the apologists don't touch empirical research, because none of it is going to ever be supportive of Christianity. They'll never put anything in there. You can put the manuscripts themselves within empirical research as far as their existence and the truth to them as far as their existence. Like, okay, yeah, this was written by a scribe during the period, but what's written is completely fiction. It's not true. So just because, and this is what a lot of Hebrews deal with, this is what a lot of Christians deal with, just because it's old doesn't make it true. Just because it's ancient doesn't make it true. It just means the lie is old, and we can show this stuff been going on for a long time, and we can backtrack it. So it doesn't make any of it true. Now, I'm all for people talking about what they want to talk about, saying what they want to say. And that's what this is about. Social media as a platform for people to speak and get out what they believe in. But then it's just like, of course, we're going to clash when you have people that's talking about stuff that's purely fiction, that is not proven. It cuts into the realm of truth, which offends a lot of truthers and people that's about truth. And just the fact of, dude, if you want to believe this Bible and then we look at it and we see the slavery aspect of it, if you're black and you're not offended in some way by this book, you're indoctrinated by it. Something's wrong with you. And we as black people should protest this bullshit every chance we get instead of being, praising it. Like, are you seriously praising it? Something that's God condoning your slavery, your enslavement, right? Of course, not you, but ancestors. But it's just when you look at where all that led to and how the KKK is a Christian group, right? You look at all these people that's in the South that went to church after they just hung niggas, had picnics and stuff, passed the preacher there. The church's involvement in our enslavement and oppression is crazy. The Pope coming out and apologizing for their role, Rome's role in slavery, stuff like that. It's just, no, we're not going to just let that slide. And this is what a lot of black people do because they're too lazy to read a book or to do the research, or they too scared to give up their sky daddy, whatever it is. So black people have essentially become apologists, and apologists without knowledge. So it's just even worse because a lot of black people try to explain away instead of just saying, nah, I can't explain it. I just believe. I have faith. And in that aspect, that's where I bow down and I say, do you? Because I can respect that because you just simply believe. You don't know. You don't know no better. There is so much more information out there. It's hard. It's tough. Especially now with the way, the internet is and YouTube, it's hard to know what to believe in, where to go. And it's frustrating, right? One of the first questions people ask me is, where do I start? Where do I begin? And, well, if I can't worship the Bible and the biblical figures, who do I worship? A lot of people are confused, man. It's been going on for so long. And a lot of people just can't fathom it not being true because the way the world is and how our society is basically, woven into religion is just something that people can't let go of. And I understand and I get that. But there's still a right and a wrong. There's a truth, right? There's a falsehood of a lot of this stuff that's real easy to see. And when you start bringing that falsehood and non-proven stuff into the realm of truth, people like me and others, we got a right to speak up on it and say what we got to say. And I'm all for, not agreeing with somebody. We're going to have disagreements, but, you got to be respectful. That's the only thing I really care about, having that respect and being truthful when it comes to knowledge. And Billy, this dude was out for the money. The way he bragged about his money and talked about everything just shows you what he cared about most. Then I really thought that the whole lawsuit thing was just a rumor. This dude really trying to sue these people, right? The moderator even, who I thought was his man, he trying to sue him too. He talked about $1 million or more. And, for him to do, to me, he ruined himself. Now, he still have over 1 million followers. He's going to still appear here and there. He got new stuff coming out. It is what it is because some people just don't care because they blinded, just like they've been blinded with Christianity. They're going to wholeheartedly follow the dude no matter what. But, he lost a lot of subscribers, but he lost a lot of respect as well. And it's like now, because like he said in defending himself, I tell you guys all the time, do your own research, and he made excuses. So now, hopefully, moving forward, he got to be more on point. If anything that comes out of this, he has to give truth now. He can't give blatant lies anymore because now people are going to be sitting there ready to pick him apart. So the whole gospel of Barnabas shit, we're not going to hear that no more. The whole freaking Sinai Bible, we're not going to hear about that no more. We shouldn't, right? Unless you're talking about it in a truthful way. And he's not going to be able to use any more books or what have you that's been proven to be forgeries, what have you. So that's the good thing that's going to come out of it for this whole thing. And I hope people see that and understand that. But, he can't rely on it no more. So hopefully his followers, start fact checking what he's saying and start looking into stuff. But then when I went back and looked at a lot of videos in the comment section, there was a lot of people debunking a lot of stuff that he said. So again, I tell a lot of people, even people who come into my comment section and try to, debunk something I said, I say, hey, put out a video. That's easier. Put out a video to basically, say what you got to say as far as this type of information, and let's take it from there because I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I could be wrong about some stuff. I doubt it, but because I really, really make sure before I put something on social media, I really dig into it. I make sure I know what I'm talking about before I do that. But everybody makes mistakes, and you can slip up on stuff. And if somebody points it out to you, you're supposed to, have some humility and say, well, my bad, or I missed that, or anything. So until he starts doing that, because the dude had absolutely no humility. He wasn't remorseful that he'd been misleading people and giving people false information for so long. It was just horrible how he defended what happened. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for sending me all the videos and everything like that, because I wasn't really following the whole situation after I put out my videos. But I understand a lot of people are interested in this stuff. If you're not, then you don't got to watch the video. It's just something I want to touch on for the, I'm talking about, I got at least 700, 800 emails about it. And so many comments and everybody, people asking me to talk about the new stuff. So yeah, dude went on Joe Rogan. And it's weird, that whole thing is crazy to have Billy on there and then to bring on Wes and to basically throw Billy under the bus. But it was the right thing to do. But like I said, they was backtracking. They had to basically backtrack and, fix the problem. It's a whole domino effect when something like that happens. Because like I said, to have that guy on there and for him to get so badly exposed and then to embarrass himself so horribly, the way that he did in that video, I mean, it's bad. You got to do damage control. And the best thing was, good for Wes. He got on there 3 hours with Joe Rogan and he was able to put out some information and everything like that. And a lot of the stuff that Wes talks about is good. I mean, the dude is on point with everything he's saying. It's just the, proving that stuff is true is, you can't do that. But him giving his, information on the Book of Enoch. I like what he was saying. Hey, we can't really trust this thing. The oldest copy of the Book of Enoch we see is in Giaz, Ethiopian. So the stuff he's saying, I'm co-signing all of it as far as the historicity of this stuff, because he's putting out truth when it comes to that. He doesn't sugarcoat nothing. He gives you straight up what it is. But dude is an apologist, right? So he's erring on the side of trying to explain away why the Gospels don't make sense, right? Why there's contradictions, why there's problems and issues. And to me, that's just something that you can't do. And then somebody that intelligent, it just goes to show mental capacity. It just goes to show, like, even people who sound, and this is where a lot of you guys fail, even people who sound so smart, like Billy Carson, like Barack Obama, it could be a scam. It can't be exactly what you think it is. If you're following people that's putting a lot of emphasis on something that's so obviously bullshit, right? You're a black president, but you're supposed to be for the people. You did nothing for the people. It saw right through Obama quickly, real fast. Billy Carson, you could just see it. I mean, if you got knowledge, you knew it was some bullshit. Just listen to stuff he was saying. It was like, what? But I was cracking up, man. The videos people would send me, I would laugh so hard because it's like, how do y'all believe this stuff, right? And then with Wes, it's like, then you have to have more knowledge, because what's getting into deeper, you have to really read and study stuff, type stuff. So it's like, even if you don't, I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to have that understanding. Of course, this stuff ain't true. The damn Bible, stop it. That's enough for most people. But if you want to get into the scholarly way and this whole truth versus fiction, you better know your shit, because he's going to give you some stuff that's going to be right on point. But at the end of the day, it stops at proof. But I liked a lot of the stuff I've been hearing, especially with the Book of Enoch, because a lot of people just, the Book of Enoch, they're all obsessed with the book. It's bullshit. You can't really put too much into it, because the way it came about is suspect. And I broke all that down in the video. I have a whole video on it. So it's just suspect. It's just understanding who James Bruce was and how the books came about. And it's an impossibility to it. And then it's just like, even still, the fact that the book exists doesn't make everything that is said true. And this is the problem people have with the book. Same thing with the Bible, Torah, Quran. Because it was a book and it exists, everything in the book is true. So yeah, for the people that had questions and hit me up, that's basically my answer to those questions about it and what apologist is, and some of the stuff we talked about in some of the videos, which I've already debunked in a bunch of my videos. If you watch my videos, you already know. I've crushed everything. There's no coming back from what I did. I mean, one of my oldest videos, That's Game, the Bible, and Christianity, finally explained. I put that clip of me reading the Codex Sinaiticus in there. I've done that video years ago. That video alone is enough. I mean, just watch it and understand. I break everything down. It's a 6-hour video. After that, you'll be done with Christianity. And that's the one I recommend to people that have issues, because you want to take notes, but no note you take is going to basically, give you anything that's going to make it, let's just say, give you more faith in Christianity. It's going to completely crush it, because there's nothing you can say from Christianity that's going to debate that video and debunk it. It's absolutely nothing. The video explains everything. It breaks everything down. And if you just watch the video, I have broken down in parts even, then you'll come out of it. And I recommend it. So every Christian I debate, I send them that video. And a lot of them watched it and it was done, right? And I send them Saturn, Satan 1, and then they're done. And that just goes to, because a lot of people, I send them the video and then they come back and they're talking as if they didn't watch the video. And I can tell immediately, you didn't watch the video. So a lot of people are scared. Some people just want to argue. So, take that with a grain of salt as far as people trying to debate you to get truth. Most of them are not. They're trying to crush you. They're trying to make you look bad. They're trying to make it seem as if they know more. You don't know what you're talking about. So if you know what you know, then, show it, put that information out, and don't be scared about what other people think or what have you. Because we're in this, it's a war. It's a war. It is. Because we really, especially for us as Black people, we really got to protect each other. It's too much going on. It's so much we're going through. And to have people putting this faith and trust within this Bible, where they need to put it within themselves and their people, leading them astray to things that's just, completely messed up for them. We gotta save them from that. And I've been lucky enough to save, a lot of people, thousands of people from that faith, and bring them into the right knowledge and understanding about what's going on. And we got to continue to do that. So, as long as people ask me questions like this and they want answers, I'll continue to put out videos. I have a lot going on, so I didn't really have time to put this video out like a month ago. So here it is now, because my channel's back up, because I have a little bit of time. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out. I know people have more questions. We'll probably get into it down the line. But again, scan through my videos. You'll see I have a lot of topics up there that help you guys understand more. And, I highly recommend you still, listen to Wes, because he's going to give you, I trust the guy to give you truth as far as the manuscripts, as far as a lot of things, because he's shown that. I can say with 100% certainty, the stuff I hear him talking about, the dude is on point, and he explains it in a way to where you can't fall him for that. But again, at the end of the day, dude is a Christian apologist, and he believes in this stuff. So you have to take that into account and take it from there. But it doesn't mean a lot of the tips and information he's talking about pertaining to biblical things, especially the manuscripts, isn't true, right? So, just look at it, do your own research, and, take it from there. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch. Links is in the description to join Merkabah Scholar Society. Link is in the description for people who want consultations. So guys, go ahead and book through March. It's there. It's available. Also, you see the price for Scholar Society. Way cheaper. Not for too much longer. I did that because of what happened with my channel being taken down. Now it's back up. I had to fight for that, but I got it. So yeah, make sure you guys take advantage now while it's still low. It's going to go back up. And I appreciate you guys for the questions, and hopefully this helped a lot of people out. But I'll see you guys next video. Peace.